and Assalamu alaikum. Sabiha Imran here. Well, today we are going to discuss the difference between the two words raise and rise. Well, these two words are really very confusing for the students because they almost mean the same, but on the other hand they are entirely different. Well, in the first part of the video I'm going to just discuss the differences between the two words raise and rise. In the later part of the video we are going to discuss some of the examples that will help us in our daily life a great deal. Behind me on the board I have drawn two columns. One is for raise and the other one is for rise. Okay, we are going to discuss the uses of raise and rise as verb. Well, the first difference between raise and rise is that of meanings. Well, raise as verb means to lift up or to increase or to improve. To lift up to a higher level, to increase the amount of something or to improve. Okay, and Urdu में हो जाएगा उठाना, चढ़ाना या बढ़ाना. On the other hand, if we talk about the meanings of rise, then rise as verb means to ascend. Okay, to ascend means to move upward and to go up. And in Urdu we can say उठना, चढ़ना or बढ़ना. The second difference between these two words is that raise is a regular verb. A regular verb is one that follows a fixed pattern for its past and past participle form. Mostly ed is added to both past and past participle form. As we can see that raise is ending on e, so we have to add d only, and in that way we have made past and past participle form. The base form is raised, the past form is raised, and the past participle form is raised. On the other hand, rise is an irregular verb. Okay, and irregular verb is one that does not follow a fixed pattern, or there are no certain rules for making the past and past participle form of them. So it is an irregular verb. You can see the forms here. The base form is rise and the past tense is rose and the past participle form is risen. Well, the third difference is that raise is a transitive verb. A transitive verb is one that takes an object after it to give complete meanings. Well, I have written a few sentences here to explain you this thing. Number one, she raised her hand. Here you can see raised is the verb and who has raised? She. So she is the subject here, doer of the action. And what has she raised? She has raised her hand. So this hand is object, her hand is object here. Okay, see the other example. The manager is the subject here in this example and raised is the verb. Manager has raised her salary. So her salary is the object in this case. So you see raised is a transitive verb, so it has taken the object which is her salary in this case. The same way you have he raised his position after a long time. He raised is the verb here, he is the subject and his position is the object here. Okay, so again, so here it is very much obvious that raise is a transitive verb and it requires an object to give complete meanings. Let's move to the other column. Here I have mentioned that rise is an intransitive verb. Well, an intransitive verb is one that does not take any object for the completion of its meanings. See, the sun rises in the east and subject is the sun. Okay, and rises is the verb and the object is not mentioned here. The same way, the plane rose very quickly. Here rose is the verb and the plane is the subject here. Okay, and no object is mentioned here. Okay, so it is an intransitive verb. Hot air rises up. Rises up is the verb and hot air is the subject. No object is mentioned here. In the same way, the last example is he has risen in his life after a long time. Risen is the past participle form of the verb and he is the subject here, and you see no object is mentioned over here as well. So these were the differences between the two words raise and rise. I hope this would have added up to your knowledge and the use of raise and rise would have become easier for you. Well, to further clarify the differences between the two words raise and rise, I have written some examples on the board, and these examples can be helpful for you in your daily life as well. Let's go through them. In the first column I have written the examples of the word raise. Well, the first sentence is they raised their kids well. उन्होंने अपने बच्चों को बहुत अच्छे से पाला है. Number 2, she raised the gun and fired. उसने गन उठाई और फायर किया. He raised his eyes from his work. उसने अपने काम पर से अपनी नजरें उठाईं. He raised himself up on one elbow. उसने खुद को एक एल्बो या एक कोहनी के ऊपर उठा लिया. This could be a kind of yoga exercise. Number 5, we need to raise public awareness of this issue. हमें इस मसले के बारे में public awareness उजागर करने की ज़रूरत है. Number 6, they raised the offer to $500. उन्होंने ऑफर या पेशकश जो है वो $500 तक बढ़ा दी है. Number 7, how can we raise the standard of education? हम तालीम का स्टैंडर्ड किस तरह से बढ़ा सकते हैं. Number 8, the book raised many important questions. इस किताब ने बहुत सारे सवाल खड़े कर दिए हैं. Well, in the second column, I have written down the examples of the word rise as verb. First example is smoke was rising from the chimney. चिमनी से धुआं उठ रहा था. Number 2, the river has risen several meters. दरिया जो है वो कई मीटर तक उठ चुका है. The river must have been flooded. Number 3, unemployment rose by 3%. बेरोजगारी 3% तक बढ़ चुकी है. Number 4, she rose to power in 90s. वो 90s की दहाई में पावर में आई. Number 5, he felt anger rising inside him. उसे महसूस हुआ कि उसे गुस्सा आ रहा है. Number 6, we need to rise up against all the corrupt politicians. हमें तमाम corrupt politicians के खिलाफ उठ खड़े होना चाहिए. Number 7, she rose to her feet. वो अपने पाँव पे खड़ी हो गई. This was all for today. I'll see you soon with something new. Till then, Allah Hafiz and goodbye.